Crystia!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Justin Trudeau is in hot water with not just the Canadian public, but possibly his caucus. All summer long, people were asking why. Why wouldn't you meet with your caucus? Why wouldn't you sit down and hear what they have to say? We seen Keean Bexte approach Justin Trudeau on Tofino Beach saying, do you really feel confident going into our next elections, despite your very low polling numbers? At which point Justin Trudeau said, yes, I'm going to be here. I will fight. I will be moving forward with my bid to remain Prime Minister of Canada, despite any kind of low polling, despite pushback from his caucus. And, well, now he's going to have to face the music with that caucus later on today. I just want to remind everybody at this time that YouTube has been active in suppressing these kind of videos or anything talking about good old Captain Tampon when you're on this platform. Make sure to leave a thumbs up or a comment down below. It helps push the video out there and get past YouTube's algorithm. And it also, if you subscribe to the channel, make sure that you're going to be alerted any other time that you see our videos drop here on the channel. With that, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into today's story as Justin Trudeau is in for an earful as he meets with caucus in BC. That's a bit of an understatement. In Nanaimo, BC, the Prime Minister is bracing for an earful from his caucus when Liberal MPs gather in Nanaimo later today to plot their strategy for the coming election year. It'll be the first time he faces them as a group since MPs departed Ottawa in the spring. Still stinging from a devastating by-election loss earlier this summer, the caucus is also rearing from news that their national campaign director has resigned, as we talked about in a previous video, and the party can no longer count on the NDP to stave off an early election. Again, the agreement with the NDP hasn't really gone anywhere. It's just a formality. By Jagmeet Singh saying he's breaking that tie, it does nothing more than just give him a slightly larger carrot on a stick to negotiate any deals that are going to move forward or to prop up his image or try to save any part of the NDP's image. It's not going to happen. Nothing's going to come from this. It's a nothing burger. But essentially, the NDP will still continue to prop up the Liberal government. In fact, we've got another video coming out talking about how other parties are now talking about propping up Justin Trudeau and what that means for Canada. But regardless, his caucus isn't happy. When we talk about the by-elections that are coming up from David Lamette's old writing, more critical seats could be lost. They're saying that the Transcona election in Manitoba and Winnipeg is essentially going to remain NDP as of this point. The polls are showing NDP, despite claims from people within our community that they're seeing conservative signs everywhere, that they're hearing conservatives are on the gains. Polls are showing NDP. Again, we'll wait for the by-election to see those answers. But when you look at the campaign director essentially walking away from Justin Trudeau, when you see that MPs have threatened to leave their job if Justin Trudeau remains as Prime Minister, again, frustrated MPs over the summer, but not only that, Chrystia Freeland hosting caucus meetings in her backyard, while people like Stephen Guilbeault are propping her up, saying that she should be the next Prime Minister of Canada. The knives are out when it comes to the Liberal Party, and I've been talking about this for quite some time. So not that anything's going to change with the Liberals, but it's going to be curious to see what happens within this caucus meeting or what leaks out. They should be giving the Prime Minister a rough ride, said strategist Ginny Roth, who served as Director of Communications for the Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's leadership campaign. She's skeptical they will, though. This is a caucus meeting that some of the caucus members demanded happen earlier this summer, and he basically told them to pound sand, and he's only getting around to it now, and they've just accepted that, she said. So, again, you know, your own boss gives you the finger. You're not going to be the nicest person in the world when you want to meet with them. You're certainly not going to want to work with them. The governing Liberals found themselves in political freefall last summer. Despite efforts to refocus on key issues like housing and affordability, the polls have not moved back in their favor. No, because they're copying Pierre Poilievre. They're essentially taking anything out of Pierre's catalog and saying that's how we're going to run things, even though we do it very poorly. Simmering calls for a new leader reached a new intensity earlier this summer when Conservatives won over a longtime Liberal stronghold in a major by-election upset in Toronto St. Paul's. Again, there could be another major upset when it comes to David Lamette's riding when that goes up later this month. Trudeau held fast in his decision to lead the party into the next election and rejected calls to convene his caucus over the summer and respond to their concerns about their collective prospects. Prime Minister has spoken to Liberal MPs one-on-one over the last few months and attended several regional meetings ahead of the Nanaimo retreat. Again, that doesn't mean that as a group they're not going to lash back. While several Liberals don't feel comfortable speaking publicly, they say the meetings were positive. The Prime Minister has mainly held his message that he is simply focused on delivering for Canadians. Again, word salad. Some hope to hear more about how he plans to win those Canadians back when he addresses his team this week. Not possible. It's not happening. Former Bank of Canada Governor Mark Carney is also expected to address the group. Long touted as a possible leadership successor to Trudeau, Carney will instead act as an advisor to caucus on the economy and growth. The 3-day retreat, I wonder how much that's going to cost us, is expected to include breakout meetings for the Indigenous, rural, and women's caucuses. This, again, brings a lot of questions, with Carbon Tax Carney showing up at this meeting saying, well, I'm just here to advise. I want to get the right on the economy and growth. That's nothing more than saying, well, he's just there to kind of play the black sheep and say, hey guys, if you don't like what he's selling, boy, do I have new stuff for you guys. All it's going to take is a little bit of a vote, and and I'll come running right in. That's exactly what's going to happen, I think, is that Mark Carney's going to be there essentially not to advise, but to try and inflate and pump up his favorability to take over as leader of the Liberals. We've heard many times throughout the summer, I guess, that he could possibly be replacing Crystia Freeland, that she would be fired as finance minister, that Mark Carney would step in and Trudeau would be doing that to save his own skin. Again, with Carney saying he's coming as a separate delegate to this caucus meeting, it doesn't look good for Justin Trudeau, to say the least. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think his caucus is going to give him an earful? Do you think we might even see people stepping down? Do you think Carney is going to do the old Julius Caesar on Justin Trudeau? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. If it's your first time here, again, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, as you're also hitting your bell for notifications so that you can be notified every time this channel drops new content. And also when we go live, join me on the channel each and every Friday for Friday Night Fringe, my live streaming show where we sit down and talk about everything that's happened this week in politics and a little bit of what we know that's coming up in the week ahead. I'm also joined on those live streams by the beautiful Mrs. Fringe, who sits down as well and chats with you guys about quirky stories, things that have happened in the news that are local, as well as, again, hearing what you guys have to ask and say in the comments. I always look forward to hearing to you guys outside of making these videos, and I look forward to talking with you each and every Friday night here on the channel, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central every single Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.